We're here to tell a story of a Louisiana family company founded in 1877 that struggled and survived, then struggled even more to become successful without losing its core values of honesty, integrity, and respect for others.
Dating back from 19th century Louisiana and through the turn of the century and through the Roaring '20s and the Great Depression and 2 World Wars, then through the decline in the agriculture economy, plus the booms and failures in the oil and gas industry, then finally into the 21st century. Through all that time, the Burgueres have kept the family and company together. It's pretty amazing.
From 3 plantations and 5,600 acres in 1877 to over 330,000 acres of property interest in Louisiana, Florida, and Texas today, JMB has prospered as a land acquisition and holding company. When you hear the history of the Burgueres family, you also hear some of the history of the sugarcane industry in South Louisiana. That remarkable story of both family and industry is captured in the book, The House That Sugarcane Built.
Jules Marshall Burgueres Sr. was born in Terrebonne Parish, Louisiana in 1850 and would go on to found what would become one of the largest single family-owned land companies operating in Louisiana today. The values so integral to JMB's success came directly from Jules Sr. himself. 140 years after its founding, the JM Burgueres Company is owned by 136 descendants of Jules M. Burgueres Sr. and their families.
JMB is managed by a board of directors consisting of both family directors and independent directors. 3 committees consisting of directors, stockholders, and staff also help to manage the company's 3 business units.
Like all family-owned businesses, JMB faces unique challenges. To help us face those challenges, we ascribe to the Harvard Families in Business program. We implement best practices in corporate governance and communications to shareholders. We manage not just to provide cash distributions to our shareholders, but to build lasting value for future generations. We have learned to leverage business and family strengths for competitive advantage and family success.
JMB is very fortunate to have someone who has worked for the company and the family for almost 35 years. That person is Debbie Lorette, and she has been instrumental in the management of the company and the family since 1983. In 2008, the board decided to bring in full-time professional management with a focus on growing the company. Glenn Weiss was hired and became the first company president who was not a family member.
Over the past 140 years, JMB has accumulated over 19,000 acres of sugarcane plantations, an interest in a salt dome island with a salt mine, 3 cattle ranches in Texas totaling over 33,000 acres, and a Florida land company named Southern States Land and Timber, which owns over 270,000 acres of mineral interest in South Florida. Sugar is our legacy. We no longer farm sugar or operate a sugarcane mill, but we're still very involved with our tenant farmers and also in the sugarcane industry. On the ranches in Texas, we run our own herd of cattle. We didn't acquire these ranches just to be in the cattle business. The Hovey Trough is a large freshwater aquifer. We own about 60 or 70% of the Hovey Trough. We think one day that water will be very valuable and it could be used for commercial or residential purposes. We also believe that the ranches have large oil and gas deposits, and we are very near the large discovery called the Alpine High. On Côte Blanche Island, our salt dome property, we work closely with Compass Minerals, who operates a salt mine. The salt from the Côte Blanche Island mine is primarily used for highway de-icing in the north. But on top of all that, in 2009, JMB entered into the environmental mitigation business. We conserved 4,700 acres of mature cypress swamp in the Coastal Conservation Program. We're currently involved in 14 mitigation projects in 3 states. We've restored and conserved over 2,600 acres of wetland and mitigation banks. We've planted over 1.3 million trees.
Wetland mitigation banking is the preservation, enhancement, restoration, or creation of a wetland to offset unavoidable impacts associated with capital projects such as development and infrastructure.
We start with low-lying agriculture fields or cow pasture, and we put it back into its natural wetland state as it was many years ago. We restore the hydrology, and we plant native trees or marsh grass depending on what's required. We also develop conservation banks. We have one open in Florida which protects sand skinks and scrub jays.
The heartbeat of our mitigation business is located in Lafayette, where Russell Walters and his team manage our mitigation projects.
We have assembled a team of highly experienced professionals that understand the complexities of this environmental business. It is sometimes very difficult to get the regulators to permit these projects. However, I feel that our team is second to none in getting this done.
JMB's business development efforts are focused on regular contact with environmental consultants, government agencies, petrochemical companies, and pipeline companies to maintain the opportunity to help them with their mitigation needs.
Our primary concern is in providing our customers the mitigation they need at the best price.
The legacy of this company has been to be good stewards of the land so it provides for many generations to come.
The Gulf Coast of Texas, Louisiana, and Florida contains some of the best wetland and species mitigation opportunities in the country, and JMB's long history of fair dealings has created a legacy that will help forge the relationships and trust necessary to create these mitigation projects in the future.
If you look back at JMB over the past 140 years, you will see how it has evolved and grown. The ability to find land-based opportunities and to stay ahead of trends is part of the DNA of the company, and it is that tradition, grounded in family and integrity, that still guides us today. God bless.